Now we'll see some functions and then pivot table, which is very useful. Pivot table is very simple but very useful for summarizing data like this. Pivot table is very powerful. So as we have seen some functions, I would like to add certain things like for round functions, when we are rounding to the nearest rupee or nearest figure or integer or based on decimal, we also have functions in two functions in Excel, that is called round up and round down. You can, if you want, just we can concentrate on certain things which are very useful and very important. If you have done round and integer, that means you can do round up and round down. See, this says very simply that rounds a number up away from 0. And when you say round down, rounds a number down towards 0. That means if you are taking up, then it will be rounding the decimal to the next one integer. And when you are using round down, that means in a way you are removing the integer part indirectly, round down. So these two functions are available there. If you want, we can just use one example of each. This is round. See, one digit, when you are giving digit as an argument, it will be 89.88, it is become 89.80, and this is round down. That means you are taking up to one digit. It is 0 means 89. So it is just like truncating in a way by using round down function. Similarly, you can use the round up function. So along with the round, because rounds both the way based on the middle value, here it ignores the higher or lower. It directly goes to the higher value or directly goes to the lower value based on round up and round down. Then there is one function called absolute. At many places, when you have got plus and minus values, but you wanted to check the volume actually, plus and minus both. So if such case arises, you have to take the absolute value of the minus value. Wherever negative values are there, it should be converted to positive, and then only you have to take it, for which absolute function is there. If you want, we can just check few figures or say few values. See here we are taking minus 1295. So if I take absolute, absolute is a function which you can use for a particular field. 89 is 89 only, 837 is 837, but minus 1295 is 1295. So when you wanted to remove one minus from your full list, so you need not go and individually multiply it by with minus 1 or remove this value. What you can do is use the absolute function. So all the values, wherever it is minus, it will convert it into absolute, make it absolute, that is, make it a non-negative. So this function is also available. In some situation, you may use this value or this function also. Then when you divide a particular value with another, say one integer with another integer, what you get is, say I am having 75 and here 15. I am having 75 and 8. I am having 75, sorry, 120 and 40. Now what happens when I divide is equal to this divided by this. So we'll be getting some value, but these are not fixed value. Here it is fully dividing, but there is no remainder. Here it is dividing, but some remainder is there. That's why it is coming decimal. So now, if you wanted to break it into two, like say 9 and then remainder, what you can do? Do you know? Anyone knows? This 75 divided by 15 should be 15 5 is 75 and the remainder is 0. So here it should be 5 and here it should be 0. Here 9 should be there and here 3 should be there because after 8 9 is 72 and then out of 75 3 is remainder. So here you are getting 9.375 whereas 9 is the integer by which it can be divided and 3 is the remainder. So when you say mode, so what is the number? So number is this. What is the divisor? Divisor is this. So what mode gives? Mode gives you after dividing a number, when finally it cannot be divided, if any remainder is there, it will give. Here it is giving 0. Here it is giving, say 120 divided by 35. So it is giving 15 because 105 is it is divisible up to 3 and then afterwards 15 is remaining. So these things you don't get directly and that too exactly the number you want as a remainder. Here you are getting divider also you are getting, but what you are getting? You are getting in decimal because you are directly dividing it. So instead you can say here, say for this division, you can say integer of this division should be this. So integer means by what amount, what number it will be divided and this will be the remainder. So this is the dividing number and this is the remainder. So in cases where you want two different numbers, you can use integer for that particular division and then for remainder you can use mode function. So mode function gives you after dividing finally what a remainder is there that it will give. Okay. In some cases it is useful and I don't know in your work how far it will be useful, but if the case comes then mode function you can use it. If you don't know you can use it now. Secondly, there are some text functions. In text functions like say I have taken some of the data from here and I kept it here. Whatever data is there in red, that I'll change it for showing that particular function. What are the text functions? Different text functions are there, but these functions are which you are not regularly using functions. This was written Ambala, but somewhere here additional spaces are coming. I added 4 5 spaces here. Say more spaces. So Ambala is there, but spaces are there. That's why it is the alignment is also going, as well as when you are matching, it may not match because of the spaces, extra spaces. Second thing, Chandigarh. In Chandigarh, I have added few spaces afterwards. So it is not visible. You can see that Chandigarh is like down, this Chandigarh is there where no spaces are there. But in this Chandigarh, spaces are there. See. So 4-5 spaces are there which is not visible. So when we are using these things which is not visible but it is already there, you don't want this, then you can use a function which is called trim. So when I say is equal to trim and then give that text field, then it will be removing the say prefix or suffix spaces. The same way if I use this for Chandigarh also, in Chandigarh, here say it is function it is showing, you will not come to know that spaces are gone or not. That also I will show you how to see this. First of all, we will be using function for Ambala, Chandigarh, and third thing I have added few spaces in between. See, here different places I have added few spaces. Now for these values, when I am saying trim, these values. Now you see intermediately within this full text, there are many places I have given additional spaces, but here it is showing only one space after one particular. So multiple spaces are converted into single space. So this is also very useful in many places when the data filtering when you are doing or data searching you are doing or data comparison you are doing. If your data is like this, then there are chances of less error due to the spaces or other additional spaces. Now, how to check this? You can see that middle spaces are converted to 1. Here you can see that previous spaces are gone. But what about this Chandigarh? You don't know that whether the remaining 4-5 spaces are gone or not. Can somebody tell me how to see that whether in Chandigarh the spaces are gone or not? What are the ways? Can somebody give me idea? Yes? Please? Are you able to hear me? Are you all there? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Can somebody tell me? Say Ambala I can see because the previous spaces are gone. In this also in intermediate additional spaces are gone. But Chandigarh I can't see because these are giving formula. So the output of the formula I can't see the output. I can see formula only. And here when I am seeing there may be space. So how can I confirm that whether the spaces are gone or not? Can somebody tell me what are the ways?
No, sir.
See what happens now. There are some different functions also there. There is one way is there that you select all these things, copy it, and in the next column you paste it, but don't paste it directly. See, there are some paste functions which you can use. I'll show you one or two now. Normal copy paste you are using, where you are using the formula, then what happens as we have already seen, the relative cells are changed, correct? So if I directly copy, then the change will happen, the trim will be on the other field, the next field. So I don't want that, but I wanted the output. So when I right click here and instead of paste, I am doing this values. When I see value paste, that means the full formulas are removed and actual output is stored here. Now if you see Ambala, that is the output. Chandigarh is the output, but there is no space. See, no space. That means the output has removed the space. This is the one way. Second way is you can use the function. What you can use is you can use function. Here you take the length. Length is the function to find the length of a particular string stored in a particular column. So if you take the original string of Ambala with the space, it is showing 11. And when you are converting it and you are saying length, this Ambala, what it is saying? 6. See, this is the length of this Ambala and this is the length after the Ambala is using stream. So 5 spaces are removed from Ambala prefix. So the total length is now 6. The same way, if the same function I am using for Chandigarh, you see for Chandigarh it was 17 and now it is 10. So this length functions will give you length of any particular character or string. Now you see here also it was 50, 50, 51, 49, 49, 51, but now it has become 42 because the additional spaces are removed. So this length function also is very useful, not only for this string function. I am just giving you one example, but this length function will be very much useful. Sometimes you wanted to know what is the maximum length of that particular field. There are thousands of records. So you can just add one field and check the length and see what is the maximum length by maximum function. So you will come to know what is the maximum length, what is the minimum length. If minimum length is 0, that means some of the fields are 0, means no data is there in that particular field. So all these things idea you can get by using different functions. Functions can be used as per your requirement, and depending on the requirement, different functions or combination of functions are used. I hope that you are understanding this length and trim function, correct? Absolute and mode function also you understood. Now we'll see how to generate a random number. See, you are having currently 53,000, more than 53,000, 53,023 records. Now you wanted to select as a sample. So you wanted to select say 50 records. So what you can say, you can say that is equal to R, A and D random only. So what happens when you say rand, it will give you any number between 0 and 1. And if you multiply this random number with the maximum record in your file 53024, then it will generate the number between 1 and, so this is the number which is being generated as a sample, but it is having decimal. So what you can go further in random, after multiplying you can round it, round the number comma 0 decimal space. Now this is the number which has been generated. The only minus point of generating rand function is every time you do anything on this field or anytime you refresh, the random number will change. If I am taking this down, see here it is 30932 is selected as a sample. Now if I refresh it by copying it, the number will change. So once you generate this, you have to store it somewhere immediately, and then only you can remove, because you cannot regenerate those numbers. These are actual, absolute, virtually, generated using that particular formula within that function. So repeating of the same numbers is not possible in this. Now, instead of multiplying this with 53024, tomorrow if the number is, say, number of records are 22,000, then you have to change this every time. So what you can do, you can directly give in the function only the similar way, but that is called round between. So another function is there called round between. It works the same way what we have used now. This is the round between indirectly, that it will be rounding between 1 and 53024. Any number that will be generated, that will be lying between this, and then you can use this up to, say, how many numbers you want. 30 are there, 39, 40. So these 40 numbers you have generated, and now you can use this as a sample. Copy this and paste it somewhere here, final sample of your file. by pasting as a value. Now even if this number changes, this will not change. Now this is your final sample which you can select and use it for your substantive checking. So using a random number or rank between, you can generate a sample for your checking purpose. Now the similarly idea is also there in which you can generate the sample, but idea is one extra functionality that you can regenerate those numbers by using seed. Here there is no concept of seed, so every time any refresh takes place, the random number will generate again a new random number. So that is the minus point of this, but you cannot regenerate, but you can generate once at least the random number when required. So sometimes for some purpose, if you want that random number to be generated or for sample purpose, once you generate and take the value and store the value as a random selected. Any doubt on this so far? Now, anything? Somebody wanted to say something? Now we'll be taking a pivot table, correct? This is the data. The full table is there where round, bonus, everything is coming. I don't want this, so I'll remove this up to Q. No, P. Up to P I am taking. So this is my data. Now, every time I have to select from 1 to up to the end, and this is actual my data which I know. So what you can do now, you can go to the formula, name manager, and for this full range, you can give a new range name. You can say VR data, voucher data say. So the full voucher data, you are naming it as a voucher data range. Now every time you use this name, it will refer to A1 to P something 53024. See here it is given. Voucher data 53024. So this range, once you save it as a name, you don't have to highlight it every time. You can use name instead. So it will be very convenient for you. Close this. Once you store this is only one time job. You have to just select the range and save it. Now this range you can use anywhere as a full range. Now once you select this, what we will do, whatever we have added additional, that will remove only, so it will not come inside within this or anywhere. Now go to the insert after highlighting. Why I am taking highlighting? Without this also you can do, it will take the full data, but where, as I told you, if one or two blank rows are there or something, then it is quite possible that the remaining rows are not taken into account. So you highlight the data you want and then go to the insert and say pivot table. Pivot table you can either insert into the same Excel sheet or you can have a new worksheet. So when I say new worksheet, it will create a new worksheet. This is the area where I will be using pivot table, and these are the tools available how to use it. Here it is a filter, column, rows and values. These pivot tables are used for summarizing the data, and at multiple levels when the data are summarized, it will be very convenient for you to take decision or view the data and analyze or make decisions. Now, depending on your requirement, you can make the pivot table. Say you are having tender data, so you can have tender type or say tender year, tender division or whatever you want, that you can take it. Here say we are having treasury name. So if I take treasury in the row, as soon as I drop this treasury into row, what happens? The treasury names all the treasury names, unique treasury names, it is there in the database that will come. So if say if for any particular treasury for that month data is not there, then that name will not come. It will be a unique value of that particular treasury column. So treasury column, when you are putting all the columns, unique values are shown here. Now I am telling that take the unique values of the treasury name and take the accounting month into the column. Here you see years comes and under the year you will be having all the details. So 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4 and grand total. So this many data is already there in the database or say Excel sheet. Now in values you have to have some either count or sum. So you can have say net or gross you can take because those are the fields you can total. So what you can do, the net amount, I am talking to the values. So you see within just 3 clicks, you are getting the overview of all the data, where the data is more, in which year it is more, in which year it is not there, which treasury, everything is available. Correct? Now if here you are having year, quarter and account month, everything is already given there. If you don't want any of these which is automatically bifurcated, then you can just remove the account month, individual month. If you remove, then month will go from here. Then if you remove the quarters, then only years will be there. So if you want month wise, you can keep the month. And here we are just comparing with the different years. Then here it will be say for this 1 year data is not there, but all other here's some data is there. Whether it is okay or not, or any objection is to be taken, or some verification will be done, that depends on you, but it will give you the full idea of the all the data available in the particular Excel sheet. So pivot table is very powerful and very useful tool for you to understand the data and make decision based on this. You can further break these treasuries into DDO wise treasuries, treasury and DDO or DDO and treasury. So under every treasury, if different DDOs are there, you can take the DDO name also or DDO code also after the treasury name. What will happen? This DDO name will also come now. Now you see in Ambala, so many DDOs are there. For each DDO, for these DDOs, individual 2003 में खाली है, इसमें in this दूसरे ईयर में भी है, 2002 में भी है. सो कहाँ पे क्या है वो इंडिविजुअल डीडीओ को आपको देखना है, तो यू कैन चेक दिस बाय पुटिंग डीडीओ कोड ऑल्सो मल्टीपल लेयर. सो इन pivot table, depending on your requirement, treasury name, you can filter the treasury, all the treasury. If you don't wanted to see, you want only remove this, just like filters in Excel. You can say Ambala, फरीदाबाद.
स्क्रीन देख नहीं रहा है सर.
स्क्रीन से दिख रहा है, मैं मेरा दूसरा कंप्यूटर पे देख रहा हूँ सर. कुछ दिक्कत है क्या? सबको दिख रहा है क्या? किसी को नहीं दिख रहा है? दिख रहा है ना सर. मैंने इसका 2 कंप्यूटर, आप जरा ट्राई कीजिए.
स्क्रॉल करके बड़ा करो.
अच्छा बड़ा करना है, लेकिन वैसे अभी दिख नहीं रहा है कुछ.
कोई नहीं सर, दोबारा
जूम करता हूँ सर, जूम करता हूँ. अभी दिख रहा है सर? पूरा नहीं दिख रहा है या कुछ ठीक से नहीं दिख रहा है?
विकास स्क्रॉल करके बड़ा करो, दिखाई देगा.
हाँ सर मैंने बड़ा किया, अभी जूम किया सर. तो इसमें ये सिंपल सी बात है, मैं तो कल एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ कि आप जो भी आपने ट्रेजरी नेम यहाँ पे डाला है, तो यहाँ पे भी आप उसको फिल्टर दे सकते हैं और यहाँ पे भी आप उसका फिल्टर दे सकते हैं. डाटा के पास भी यहाँ पे जो ड्रॉप डाउन एरो है उसमें सब ट्रेजरी का नाम आएगा. जो ट्रेजरी नहीं चाहिए उसको निकाल दे. समझो अम्बाला निकाल लेता हूँ तो अम्बाला रहेगा डाटा में, लेकिन यहाँ पे उसका अम्बाला का नहीं दिखेगा, सेकंड भिवानी का दिख रहा है, चंडीगढ़ का दिख रहा है। तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, इसको आप फिल्टर करके आपको जो जो देखना है वो हिसाब से आप उसका चेकिंग कर सकते हैं। समझो ये डीडीओ है, उसको पहले चाहिए, ट्रेजरी बाद में चाहिए, तो आप इसको जस्ट यहाँ से जो राइट साइड में हमने रोज में डाला हुआ है, ट्रेजरी नेम ऊपर है, डीडीओ नीचे है, उसको ऊपर खींच लेंगे आप, तो आप देखेंगे डीडीओ पहले आ गया। डीडीओ को रैप टेक्स्ट कर दूं मैं, तो डीडीओ पहले आ गया और उसके अंदर ट्रेजरी नेम बाद में आ गया। ठीक है, दिख रहा है अभी? यस सर।
यस सर।
तो ये देखिए, आपको जो चाहिए ना, आपको खाली ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप करना है, और आपको दो चीज याद रखनी है। ये जो कॉलम वाइज आप देंगे उसका यूनिक वैल्यू कॉलम वाइज आएगा। अगर वो यूनिक वैल्यू ज्यादा है तो लेने का मीनिंग नहीं है, क्योंकि हम लोग समराइज डाटा देखना चाहते हैं इन फॉर एनालिसिस और डिसीजन टेकिंग। तो यहाँ पे डीडीओ ट्रेजरी नेम ले रहे हैं, यहाँ पे समझो ईयर ले रहे हैं, या मेजर रेट ले रहे हैं, माइनर रेट ले रहे हैं, वो सब आप कर सकते हैं डिपेंड्स ऑन योर रिक्वायरमेंट। और वो लेने के बाद में एक फील्ड ऐसा ले रहे हैं जिसको हम सम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इसके अंदर हमें ये नहीं मालूम पड़ रहा है कि ये समझो 3,92,354 है, लेकिन कितने रिकॉर्ड है वो नहीं मालूम पड़ता है। तो कितने रिकॉर्ड अगर आपको चाहिए ना, तो कोई भी टेक्स्ट फील्ड है या कोई भी फील्ड आप उसके अंदर ले लो, वापस उसमें डाल दो। समझो मैं वही, समझो अभी वैल्यू जो डाला है नेट अमाउंट, वही मैं वापस डालूं, तो क्या होगा? ओके, तो अभी ये देखिए, ये डाटा दो बार आ गया, ये डाटा अभी आपको दो दो बार दिखेगा, ये और ये। हमें ऐसा नहीं चाहिए, तो हम क्या करेंगे, ये सेकंड वाला पार्ट है ना, उसको मैं वैल्यू फील्ड सेटिंग में जाऊंगा, और वहां पे जो सम लिखा है यहाँ पे, उस सम के बदले काउंट कर दूंगा। अब मैं ये बता रहा हूं कि ये फील्ड कोई भी रहने दो, उसका वैल्यू को आप डिसरिगार्ड करो, उसको देखो ही मत, खाली वो काउंट करो। ओके कर दिया तो वो अभी काउंट करेगा। ये देखिए, 17 वाउचर का या 17 रिकॉर्ड का इतना अमाउंट है, 16 रिकॉर्ड का इतना अमाउंट है, एक रिकॉर्ड का इतना अमाउंट है, ये सब आपको मिल जाएगा। अभी ये नंबर मिलेगा और अमाउंट मिलेगा, तो काउंट भी मिलेगा और आपको सम भी मिलेगा। और सम के साथ में अगर आपको और भी कुछ चाहिए तो वो भी आप ले सकते हैं। समझो कि आपको उसका ये सम के बदले में, अगर आप उसमें देखेंगे तो एवरेज ले सकते हैं, मैक्सिमम ले सकते हैं, मिनिमम ले सकते हैं। तो आपको इसमें जो भी ये लिस्ट में अवेलेबल है, वरायंस है, स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन है, तो ये सब आपको मिल सकता है। नॉर्मली हम लोग सम लेते हैं या मिनिमम मैक्सिमम चेक करने के लिए लेते हैं कि ये पर्टिकुलर 17 वाउचर में मिनिमम वैल्यू वाला कौन सा है, मैक्सिमम वाला कौन सा है, ये सब हम लोग डिसीजन के लिए चेक करने के लिए ले सकते हैं। लेकिन आपका जो भी डाटा हो, उसमें दो फील्ड चाहिए आपको कम से कम। जिसको एक फील्ड होगा तो आपको खाली सिंगल समरी मिलेगा, और दो फील्ड है तो आपको रो वाइज कॉलम वाइज करके एक पूरा चार्ट टाइप का मिलेगा, जिसके टेबल टाइप का मिलेगा, जिसके अंदर आपको रिलेटेड वैल्यू विच इज रिलेटिंग टू कॉस्ट रो एंड कॉलम विल बी अवेलेबल। तो जहां पे नहीं है वो भी आपको तुरंत दिखेगा, और जहां पे है वो भी आपको रेफरेंस के लिए मिलेगा। ये देखिए, बहुत सारी जगह पे नहीं है, मतलब ये साल का डाटा आपके काम का ज़्यादा नहीं है शायद, लेकिन उसमें जहाँ जहाँ वैल्यू है तो वो भी तो आपको मालूम पड़ेगा कि ये वैल्यू को देखना है कि नहीं। या तो समझो ये साल से चालू करते हैं तो आप फिल्टर में ये 3 साल को निकाल देंगे। डिसीजन मेकिंग इज योर्स, आप डिसाइड कीजिए क्या करना है। अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि वो निकाल देना है तो आप उसके अंदर से ईयर्स में से निकाल सकते हैं। ठीक है, आई होप कि पिवट टेबल आप समझ रहे हैं कि कैसे होता है। अगर आपको रिपीट चाहिए या आपको कुछ डाउट है तो पूछ सकते हैं, क्योंकि पिवट टेबल इज वेरी पावरफुल एंड वेरी यूजफुल। बहुत सारी जगह पे वो यूज होता है, जब ज़्यादा डाटा है तो उसको समराइज करने के लिए और उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए बहुत यूजफुल है। अभी यहाँ पे डीडीओ ज़्यादा है इसलिए आपको ज़्यादा डाटा दिख रहा है। अगर मैं डीडीओ का निकाल दूँ या खाली डीडीओ वाइज लूँ तो एकदम कम हो जाएगा। ये देखिए, डाटा एकदम कम हो गया। तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, what data you wanted to see, what decision you wanted to make, and how the pivot table will help you. I hope pivot table आपका समझ में आ गया होगा। तो मैं, अगर उसमें कुछ डाउट है तो पूछिए, नहीं तो फिर मैं आगे और भी 2-3 चीज बताना चाहता हूँ। आर यू गेटिंग दिस? यस
यस सर।
अभी हम लोग एक बार देख लेंगे यहाँ पे जो ये हमने सिलेक्ट किया हुआ है उसमें डाटा में अगर जाएंगे तो डाटा में आपको सॉर्ट एंड फिल्टर दिखता है। ये दोनों के अंदर कैसे क्या क्या कर सकते हैं वो मैं थोड़ा बहुत बता देता हूँ। तो 10 एक मिनट हम लोग इसमें लेंगे। ये जो सॉर्ट है वो आपने जितना डाटा सिलेक्ट किया है ना उसी को करना है। अगर आपका जो डाटा सिलेक्टेड नहीं होगा तो जो बाकी का कॉलम को सॉर्ट नहीं करेगा तो वो आपका डाटा मिसमैच हो जाएगा। इसलिए आपको याद रखना है कि सॉर्ट कर रहा है, अगर पूरे डाटा को सॉर्टिंग करना है तो सॉर्टिंग करने के टाइम पे आपका पूरा डाटा सिलेक्टेड होना जरूरी है। और सिलेक्ट करने के टाइम पे आपने अगर ऊपर का जो पहला वाला टाइटल कॉलम लिया है तो उसके अंदर एक ऑप्शन है यहाँ पे माई डाटा एज अ हेडर। अगर आप कंफर्टेबल है विदाउट हेडर तो आप विदाउट हेडर वाला डाटा भी सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन फिर यहाँ पे सॉर्ट बाय में वो हेडर का नाम आएगा नहीं। आपको कॉलम ए, कॉलम बी, कॉलम सी, कॉलम डी ऐसा आएगा। अगर मैं इसको निकाल दूं तो आप देखेंगे यहाँ पे वो हेडर का नाम नहीं आएगा, कॉलम ए बी सी डी आएगा। इसका मतलब कि ये जो फर्स्ट लाइन है वो भी डाटा हो गया, लेकिन वो मेरा डाटा नहीं है, वो हेडर है। तो मैं हेडर को एक्सेप्ट करूंगा यहाँ पे। और यहाँ पे फिर मैं कोई भी सॉर्टिंग का पर्टिकुलर लूंगा कि पहले उसको ट्रेजरी वाइज करो, उसके अंदर डीडीओ वाइज करो, उसके अंदर वाउचर नंबर वाइज करो, दैट यू कैन मेक द डाटा सॉर्टेड। बट ये जो सॉर्टिंग करूंगा वो परमानेंट होगा, मतलब वो पूरा सॉर्ट डाटा को कर देगा, ओरिजिनल उसका जो था वो चला जाएगा। तो आपको सोचना है कि आपको अगर वैसा सॉर्टिंग चाहिए तो आप कर सकते हैं कि अकाउंट का जो मंथ एंड ईयर है उसके अंदर डीडीओ कोड है, डीडीओ के अंदर ट्रेजरी है, या ट्रेजरी कोड है उसके अंदर डीडीओ है, और बाद में वाउचर नंबर है। तो वैसे आप अरेंज कर सकते हैं अगर डाटा अरेंज नहीं है तो। और अगर आपने डाटा अरेंज किया है तो आप सब टोटल ले सकते हैं ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर जो आपने जिस तरीके से अरेंज किया है। अभी फिल्टर में क्या होता है, जब आप फिल्टर कहते हैं, आप फर्स्ट लाइन में है और उधर आपने फिल्टर बोल दिया, सभी जगह पे फिल्टर लग गया है, देखिए ऊपर हर एक फील्ड को फिल्टर लग गया है। अभी आप उसको जब भी फिल्टर को डाउन एरो करेंगे उस कॉलम का यूनिक वैल्यूज आपको देखने मिलेगा। उस कॉलम में कितनी यूनिक वैल्यूज है वो आपको यहाँ पे मिलेगा। और ऑल वैल्यूज आर सिलेक्टेड इंक्लूडिंग लास्ट में ब्लैंक। तो आपको अगर कोई जगह पे विदाउट ब्लैंक कितना वैल्यूज है वो देखना है तो आप इसको ब्लैंक को निकाल देंगे। तो अगर उसमें वो ब्लैंक है तो वो आपका सिलेक्टेड डाटा में ये रेंज में वो पूरा रो नहीं आएगा, मतलब उसके बाजू का कॉलम कोई भी कॉलम नहीं दिखेगा, पूरा रो निकल जाएगा। सो दिस अफेक्ट्स द रोज। ये कॉलम के डाटा के बेस पे विजिबल कॉलम आपको दिखेगा। समझो मैं यहाँ पे सभी कॉलम को निकाल, सभी वैल्यू को निकाल देता हूँ और खाली AM009 10 और 11 करता हूँ तो ये खाली 3 है, 9 10 11 का डाटा मुझे दिखेगा, सभी फील्ड दिखेंगे, लेकिन खाली ये 3 वैल्यू जो मैंने सिलेक्ट किया है। जैसे ही आप कुछ सिलेक्ट करेंगे फिल्टर में तभी आप देखेंगे यहाँ पे एक सिलेक्शन का मार्क आ जाता है कि आपने यहाँ पे कुछ सिलेक्ट किया है, ये फिल्टर को यूज किया है, बाकी फिल्टर में वो मार्क नहीं है। तो याद रखना कि ये फिल्टर को जो आप यूज करते हैं मल्टीपल जगह पे आप फिल्टर यूज किया तो आपको याद रखना है कि कहाँ कहाँ पे फिल्टर यूज किया। और अगर याद नहीं रहता है या कुछ डाउट रखता है कि कोई एक फिल्टर छूट गया तो आपका जो नेक्स्ट फिल्टर का अप्लाई कर रहे हैं उसके पहले वापस फिल्टर पे अगर आप क्लिक कर दिया, इट्स अ टॉगल बटन, टोटली फिल्टर को निकाल देगा, वापस फर्स्ट रो में जाके वहां पे फिल्टर लगा सकते हैं। अभी मल्टीपल फिल्टर लगाने के टाइम पे उसके पहले आप देखिए कि फिल्टर में क्या क्या अवेलेबल है। समझो कि ये जो फिल्टर है उसमें आप वैल्यूज देख सकते हैं AM से लेके समथिंग समथिंग। अगर आप यहाँ पे सर्च करेंगे तो आप सर्च भी कर सकते हैं। समझो डी, तो डी से शुरू होने वाले सब आ जाएंगे। फिर आप बोलेंगे DC, तो DC वाला कोई भी नहीं है। DB, तो DB वाला कोई नहीं है। तो आपको जो जो DE है तो DE वाला है। फिर 5 लिखा तो D5 से शुरू होने वाला मिलेगा, 6 लिखा तो 6 से शुरू होने वाले मिलेंगे। तो आपको जैसे फिल्टर आप यहाँ पे दिख रहा है वो आपको दिखता जाएगा। तो कोई एक पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू आपको चाहिए तो वो यहाँ पे सर्च कर सकते हैं और खाली उतना ही अगर आप सिलेक्ट करेंगे तो वो आपको उतना फिल्टर करके दे देगा। सेम थिंग अपन्स फॉर दिस मेजर रेट। समझो आपको एक पर्टिकुलर मेजर चाहिए तो यहाँ पे वैल्यू कम है, तो आपको यहाँ पे जो समझो 2053, 54 एंड 55 चाहिए, तो उतना ही डाटा आएगा, खाली 53, 54, 55 का। और एक चीज याद रखिएगा, आपका टोटल डाटा और आपका फिल्टर के बाद का डाटा आपको इधर लेफ्ट साइड का कॉर्नर में दिखेगा। 2421 ऑफ 53025 रिकॉर्ड्स फाउंड, लेफ्ट साइड में आपको दिख रहा है स्टेटस बार में। कैन यू सी दिस? उसको मैं ये नहीं कर सकता, जूम नहीं कर पाऊंगा। आपको दिख रहा है लेफ्ट साइड में कर्सर? प्लीज
दिख रहा है सर, दिख रहा है।
तो लेफ्ट साइड में वो आप जब भी फिल्टर चेंज करते जाएंगे, ये नंबर आपको इस हिसाब से आएगा कि ये समझो आप देख रहे हैं कि 3 मेजरमेंट का कितना है, तो आप अगर उसमें से एक आधा मेजरमेंट निकाल दो, समझो 55 निकाल दिया, तो आपको वो 2 मेजरमेंट का इधर दिखेगा 1702। अगर आपको ये फिल्टर पूरा का पूरा निकाल देना है अगर, तो ये देखिए मेजरमेंट वाला फिल्टर है, उसमें क्लियर फिल्टर फ्रॉम मेजर लिखा है, तो जो भी मैं आपने फिल्टर लगाया रहेगा वो निकल जाएगा। अदरवाइज आप सिलेक्ट ऑल करेंगे तो भी इनडायरेक्टली वही होता है, सभी वैल्यू सिलेक्ट होता है, मतलब उसका मतलब वही होता है कि फिल्टर क्लियर हो गया, नो फिल्टर, ऑल वैल्यूज आर विजिबल। सेकंड थिंग, अगर अमाउंट वाला या न्यूमेरिक वाला है तो उसमें आप नंबर का फिल्टर लगा सकते हैं कि इक्वल टू, नॉट इक्वल टू, ग्रेटर देन, लेस देन, ये सब वैल्यूज आप दे सकते हैं। समझो आप बोलेंगे लेस देन 20,000, सो जितने भी वैल्यूज लेस देन 20,000 है वो आपको मिलेंगे, कितने हैं? 23506 है। अगर और भी कम करे, मतलब छोटे वैल्यू वाला ज्यादा है, तो क्लियर फिल्टर, ये नंबर फिल्टर में जाके लेस देन है 20,000 है, आप उसको 5,000 कर दिया, तो 5,000 वाला कम आ जाएगा। देखिए 9733 5,000 वाला रिकॉर्ड है, लेस देन 5,000। तो आप जो भी फिल्टर देना चाहे, टेक्स्ट वाले में आपको लिस्ट आएगा और न्यूमेरिक में आप उसका पर्टिकुलर वैल्यूज दे सकते हैं, लेस देन, ग्रेटर देन, इक्वल टू, नॉट लेस देन। सेकंड थिंग, जब आपका फिल्टर ऑलरेडी अप्लाइड है, आप डायरेक्टली सॉर्टिंग भी कर सकते हैं, समझो, लेकिन वो एक पर्टिकुलर फील्ड पे ही कर सकते हैं। समझो आपको उसको करना है वाउचर नंबर वाइज, तो आप अगर यहाँ पे बोलेंगे सॉर्ट स्मॉलेस्ट टू लार्जेस्ट या स्मॉल लार्जेस्ट टू स्मॉलेस्ट, तो वो सॉर्ट कर देगा, सॉर्टिंग उसका पूरा सभी का कर देगा, लेकिन बेस्ड ऑन दिस फील्ड वैल्यू, खाली सिंगल फील्ड वैल्यू के बेस पे करेगा। सेकंड थिंग, समझो यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ वैल्यूज है उसको कलर देके रखा है, तो अगर मैं ये रेड कलर दिया है कहीं कहीं पे, तो जहां जहां रेड कलर दिया है उसमें आपको एक एक्स्ट्रा ऑप्शन आएगा, सॉर्ट बाय कलर में रेड कलर आ गया, तो आप पहले रेड रहेगा और बाद में नॉन रेड रहेगा। तो अगर समझो आपने कुछ डाटा चेक किया मैन्युअली और उसमें जहां जहां पे आपको डाउट रहेगा उसको एक कलर दे दिया, रेड या ब्लू या समथिंग, तो आप उसको जब करेंगे तभी आपका एक कलर का एक साथ में आ जाएगा डाटा सॉर्टिंग। और समझो आपको सॉर्ट नहीं करना है पूरा, खाली चेक करना है वो डाटा, तो आप बोलेंगे फिल्टर बाय कलर। फिल्टर बाय कलर का मतलब रेड कलर का है वो खाली मुझे दिखाओ, तो ये फील्ड में जितने भी रेड कलर के खाली उतने आपको दिखाई देंगे। ये जो डीडीओ कोड के अंदर मैंने रेड लिया है तो रेड इतने ही है, अगर ये रेड नहीं भी रहेगा बाजू का फील्ड का तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, जो फील्ड में हमने रेड लिया है वो फिल्टर उसके बेसिस पे आएगा। क्लियर फिल्टर, अभी बाजू वाले उसमें लिया मैंने फिल्टर बाय कलर रेड कलर, तो रेड कलर। अदर देन रेड कलर चाहिए तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, फिल्टर बाय ऑटोमेटिक, तो मतलब जहां पे कलर नहीं है, ऑटोमेटिक का मतलब नो कलर, ब्लैक कलर, तो वैसे आप ले सकते हैं। समझो मैंने यहाँ पे इसमें से कुछ फील्ड है उसको ये कलर दिया, मतलब बैकग्राउंड कलर, इसको भी बैकग्राउंड कलर कुछ को दिया है, तो आप फिल्टर के टाइम पे या सॉर्ट के टाइम पे आपको फिल्टर बाय कलर है, उसमें ये देखिए फिल्टर बाय सेल कलर, फिल्टर बाय फॉन्ट कलर, दोनों का आएगा। फॉन्ट वाइज करेंगे तो आपको रेड वाला आएगा, येलो वाइज करेंगे तो ओनली येलो वाला आएगा। तो ये सब चीज़ बहुत यूजफुल है, क्योंकि आप जब डाटा चेक करते हैं, कभी कभी बहुत सारा डाटा के अंदर आप मैन्युअली चेक करते हैं कुछ कुछ चीज़ मार्क करने के लिए, तो आप अगर उसको कलर मार्क कर दो तो बाद में उन सबको फिल्टर करके सेपरेटली चेक कर सकते हैं या कॉपी पेस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो फिल्टर इज वेरी पावरफुल, उसको आप अलग अलग तरीके से फिल्टर कर सकते हैं। must be using, some of you must be using all these things, लेकिन जो लोग यूज नहीं करते उनका अगर कोई डाउट है या जो यूज करते हैं उनको कुछ अगर पूछना है तो अदरवाइज विल गो टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, 1 or 2 points we'll take more and then we'll wind up today. So this is very useful, that's why I am taking this, क्योंकि फिल्टर में बहुत सारी चीजें आप उसको जैसे देखना चाहे, जैसे कि आपको वीडियो नेम के अंदर वो टेक्स्ट है तो टेक्स्ट में पूरा लिस्ट आ रहा है, सर्च भी कर सकते हैं, और टेक्स्ट के अंदर जैसे फिल्टर भी आ रहा है, देखिए उसमें भी इक्वल्स, डज नॉट इक्वल, बिगिंस विथ, एंड्स विथ, कंटेंट्स। कंटेंट्स मतलब पूरे उसके अंदर कहीं पे भी है, समझो आपको मालूम है कहीं ना कहीं उसका नाम दिया हुआ है, दिल्ली, मुंबई या ट्रेजरी का नाम दिया हुआ है, तो आप अगर कंटेंट्स देखेंगे तो कहीं पे भी ट्रेजरी का नाम आया तो वो आपको दे देगा वो, तो डज नॉट कंटेन। तो समझो आपको एक ट्रेजरी का नाम या पर्टिकुलर चीज नहीं चाहिए, उसके अलावा देखना है तो आप डज नॉट कंटेन में डाल सकते हैं, डज नॉट कंटेन पूना, तो अदर देन पूना सब आपको दिखेगा। लेकिन ये डाटा आपके टेक्स्ट डाटा के बेस पे है, जो फील्ड में आप करते हैं उसमें वो अगर डाटा है या नहीं है उसके बेस पे ये देगा, तो आपका डाटा कैसा है वो हिसाब से आप उसको यूज कर सकते हैं। Any doubt on this or any question on this? Yes, any doubt? Please respond, because we'll be going to the further topics. Whatever time permits, 10 minutes will take more and then we'll complete this, if you don't mind. Jayashree madam.
Yes, Chetan.
Yes, Sundar sir, Jayashree madam, 10 more
Yeah, we
minutes.
can continue for another 5 minutes, Chetan. It's okay.
Sure.
Because Jaya madam had already joined earlier. So
That's
I
why
think
just 5 minutes.
the important
because
aspects we can cover and then we can wind it up.
No problem.
Okay.
Actually, this will go on as per their requirement also. I am just showing which are the practically useful, other than what they may not be knowing. That's why it will go on till the time they wish or our time permits. Correct?
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, madam. Now, sorting, filtering, pivot tables, all these things are very useful to you in different context. Finally, what I will do is I'll just give you just idea of if. You must be already conversant with this if function, but if is a function which is to be used as per your requirement, the criteria you can give in if function, and the criteria depends on what data you are working on, if whether it is a text data or whether it is a amount data. Say you can say if net amount and gross amounts are not matching, just flag it, say something that check. You wanted to check all the records where net amount and gross amounts are not equal. So you can use if function, or you can directly use the minus both the amount. From gross amount you can minus the net amount, and then you can filter it with the non-zeros. Means zero means equally and non-zero means not equal. So there are different ways to do on the same thing. If you are using function, you can use if function. This is if function takes 3 arguments. First is what you wanted to check. The output should be logical. So if I say gross amount minus net amount is equal to 0. So what it will say? Yes, it is 0, or no, it is not 0. So that is the logical answer. So when logical answer comes, then it will go for, if it is yes answer, what is to be done? If it is no answer, what is to be done? So you can say here that if it is yes, means it is 0, then okay, say okay. But if it is not 0, then say check. I need to check this. So when you say these two are okay, see 5,000 and 5,000 are okay, 1,000 and 1,000 are okay. Somewhere it is not okay, that is this 30,000 and 30. This is also not okay. This. While copy this. Somewhere it will come okay, and somewhere it is coming check. Check means what? If you see this, these two will not be matching. These three items, it will not be matching with this item. So you are getting how to use if. If has got three arguments. The first argument takes your calculation or whatever output should be logical. That means you are taking some particular comparison, and then output of that comparison will be either yes or no, and based on that you are giving that if it is yes, what to be done, if it is no, what to be done, if it is true, it is what to be done, if it is false, what is to be done. So this way you can use the if function, and there are so many things we can do with the if functions. Multiple if functions you can use, multiple criteria you can use, but I am just giving idea because those who are not used to using if function, they should start using different criteria. If any doubt is there, even after training, anytime you can contact me, and whenever time permits I will just be with you and try to help you out whichever way it is possible. I hope that this is understood by you, and you know how to use different functions and which are the practical examples what I have given along with the concept. I tried my best to cover whatever which is you may not be knowing, or you may not be using it regularly, or you are having some doubt or conceptual problem maybe there. I just jotted down certain topics of which many topics I could cover, and I tried to give justice to this. I hope I am successful. If any one of you will be using something what is covered today, then I'll be the happiest person. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jayashree Madam, for giving me opportunity to cater to the needs of the divisional accountants, which we generally don't meet regularly. And I wish all a very good future and good health in future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot very much.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Chetan. It was a wonderful session, and you have
you.
comprehensively explained all the functions and the features of the MS Word, all in all. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks.
madam. Mm.
So we have with us Jaya Bhagat madam already. Welcome, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening to all of you.
Good evening,
Uh,
ma'am.
This is Jayashree.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good
Nice to
evening.
see you.
ma'am.
Good evening. Very nice to see your faces. Can we remove the Excel sheet from the screen so that
Yes, yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Chetan, it was an excellent session, the little that I caught. So very nicely done indeed. So
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Sundar, good to see you. Thank you so much. Is Rolf joining us, or is he otherwise engaged?
Yes, sir is also joining us.
Okay, so we'll wait for him. In the meantime, let me just, it's good to see you too, Jayashree. So I'm seeing some of the DAs, Meenakshi I can see, and from Satara, right? And Harmandeep
Yes, ma'am.
is
Good evening,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
from
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Ankur
Good
is,
evening.
yeah. Hi, Rolf.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm feeling so happy that we were able to organize this training. Thanks to you, Rolf, and all your cooperation.
Ma'am, I'm so happy to see you, and I'm so happy that the feedback is so good, and it was your
Yes,
initiative.
indeed.
And I'm joined by Ramakrishnan and Jayashree Chettiar.
Hello to
Ma'am,
them.
even though the feedback is very good, but still we will like you being ex DG RTI Jammu. So we like your feedback wherever you feel that this needs to be done. We'll like your critical comment on that, and with your permission, we can move ahead if you permit me, ma'am.
Sure, please carry on.
Yeah, ma'am, we'll, I think you know nothing much to be told, but then I will start with the regular faculty
Sure.
feedback.
Please go
Ma'am,
on.
ma'am, the faculty feedback will start with Mr. Prashant Kumar Divisional Accounts Officer 1, he has been rated as 4.89. Mr. Prabhat Ranjan, Divisional Accounts Officer, he is rated as 4.87 out of 5. Then Dr. Ram Vaikar, Senior AO, Core Faculty, he has been rated as 4.85. Miss A.S. Shitole, 4.89. And then Mr. Chetan Juban Putra, core faculty 4.88, ma'am. That way the average faculty rating is 4.88, that is 97.6. So that's I feel is good.
That's
And
That's
yeah.
really good. It usually is never the case, right? We've seen it across so
Yeah.
many trainings. You have
Yes.
some variance, but here you're seeing consistently high
Yeah.
standards maintained by all of the faculty. That means that because trainees have given them that feedback. So
Yeah.
my thanks to you, Rolf, even though I'm
Thank you.
jumping in
Most
here,
welcome,
but
ma'am.
for choosing such good faculty.
Ma'am,
Because
I'm told that sessions were very interactive. So I think the faculty was able to clear their doubts. But still, ma'am, we feel the RTI feels that every best can be bettered. So they will expect the feedback to be little more critical where we can improve upon. So ma'am, we'll move on with that. Participants' feedback, that is objective of the courses were clearly defined. 5 objective of the courses were made 4.92, topics covered were relevant 4.75, coverage of the topics was adequate 4.75, sequencing of the topics was appropriate 4.75, course materials distributed were helpful 4.92, time allotted for the training was sufficient 4.58, extent of learning 4.92. Ma'am, the overall training average comes 4.82, 96.4. Ma'am, will at the end of this, I think somewhere the participants have felt that the time duration was little less. So it may be, if you suggest so, I mean, it will come in the late feedback, so we can think over. That's up to you. If you suggest, we can extend the duration to 4 days, but that depends how you feel and what sort of feedback you get from your divisional accounts cadre. So, ma'am, with this, we'll move on to whether expectations from the training were fulfilled. Online tender fulfilled 5. What was liked most about the course? Online tools discussions was really helpful. Discussion on various classes of contract, tender issues, excellent interaction, relevant topics covered with help in implementing rules and procedures in divisions working perfectly. Best online training ever for me. It was clear interaction without network connection issues. Course was very informative and interactive, detailed coverage of the topics of our daily use and effective and helpful interactive sessions, excellent knowledge of tutors, arrangements and course structure. We like the interaction between the newcomer and experienced faculty trainer. The friendly approach to resolve the doubts and queries of all faculty was good. Online working related discussions, presentation and explanation on each topic was very good. Discussions about what was rated as best. Discussions about working on BEMS. Discussions on various classes of the contract and its implementation in day-to-day working. Tender classes, the two persons have said that tender classes were the best. Administration rules and lookouts explained by Srimati A. Sitole. None of them was inferior to other. The introduction to EMB and E-Bill was very interesting and informative. All topics covered were very good. Coverage of tender class was the best. Prashant Kumar sir's expert guidance and Ram Vaikar sir's experience was remarkable. Prabhat Ranjan sir provided good knowledge of the beams. All faculty guidance was very useful. E-billing, discussion on accounting and EA and BEMS beams. Yes, ma'am. These topics have been rated as best. So, move on to little area. Topics that may be added, ma'am. Online tender, MPWD manual, GST2, Form-wise explanation of divisional accounts and Form 88 elaboration. Accounting topics needed to be added more, especially government accounting. Ma'am, here we need your guidance. Online tender is more or less the same, but then maybe if yeah, depending on your feedback, we like to add little more on online tender. MPWD manual, it was covered, but still if participants feel that we can add on to that one more session, or what sort of sessions they want on that, ma'am, will maybe you can participants can tell, or somebody can throw more light what sort of sessions more needed there.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And GST, 2 persons have written that GST, there may be more elaboration. So we can think of form-wise explanation of divisional accounts and Form 88. We can elaborate, we can pass on to the faculty. They will definitely throw more light on these issues. Accounting topics needed to be added more, especially government accounting. That's always possible. If the house feels, we can pass it on to the faculty, and definitely they will give more emphasis on the government accounting part of it. And maybe some participants can throw more light. Your PG madam is here, so we'd like to listen if faculty, if the participants have to add something there. It will definitely be useful for the future training. Yeah, friends, and PG madam, yeah. Just please.
Can I say something that GST is a very confusing topic?
You just introduce yourselves and the division, where you're working when you speak, because I wasn't able to say hello to all of you individually. So it will help me put a face to the name now.
Okay, ma'am, my name is Ankur Verma. I'm working in IRD Pune, Irrigation Research Division. Actually, I have some confusion in GST topics. Actually, GST is a very cumbersome. Some rules are different, some were percentages are different. There is no clear explanation of GST. So GST needs to be elaborated more. Okay. And there is some part of royalty that some says that royalty GST can be given on royalty. Some says it is not. So it is also an ambiguous. There is no clear guideline of GST.
Okay.
And ma'am, whenever any topic is told to us, there should be some distinction. What procedure is followed in government and what procedure should be followed in corporation division, because working and accounting are different in government as well as in corporation division. So each topic has some different rule in both of the areas. So these needs to be explained more.
Okay.
Okay. We have jotted down your concerns, and hopefully in the next training we'll throw more light on that and these issues. We hope to clear your doubts in the next training, friend. Yeah.
Any other views? Please feel free to speak up.
Your comments will be taken positively. Is nothing, no reflection on RTI that it was not explained. So we have, as I always say, every best can be bettered. So your comments will be taken with that spirit. So please feel free to talk, and your boss is here. She will definitely guide us more.
Not their boss, their mentor maybe. But
okay, yeah, maybe mentor is a better word. Yeah.
Look, may I just say something?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
They are silent. Let me just give a context to this. Yeah. The reason that I reached out to Rolf and he so kindly agreed immediately, which speaks volumes of his, the spirit, the positivity that he and his team show, was that I felt that we really haven't been able to interact much in the last couple of years with our divisional accountants and divisional accounts officers cadre. And also I wanted to do some capacity building. Many of you, I see that some of you have worked pretty long periods, like Mr. Rajesh Sinha has been there for 21 years. But in contrast, Harmandeep has been there. Ankur, you've been there for 6 years, right? So there are many who've been there for 5 years. So it's a mixed bag. And we Rolf and I spoke, I think, sometime in February or
Yeah.
before your RAC, Rolf. And
Yeah,
I said,
I
we
think
really
it was
want to do
10 days.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we said that and we worked so that we could do one training at least, wherein we bring you all together in this financial year. So that we can at least provide a base template wherein we are giving you information and technical upgradation on various areas so that you are our initial batch, which gets a wide spectrum of inputs across the areas. And as I can see from your feedback, which Rolf has kindly read out and I've received separately as well, that the technical topics in particular you found useful, right? So the contract related or the beams related topics. Now, and all the faculty, you've enjoyed your interactions because you got the chance to ask questions. So what one will try and do is that I've already spoken to Rolf about this, and even during the RAC meeting, this incidentally came up, but we'd already discussed before. We'll try and request and work with RTI to have one more training at least, if not a couple more.
Ma'am, RTA doesn't exist in isolation. You are most welcome. We can always add one training, and you can order sort of.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very great. Thank
Yeah.
you. And what we'll also do is, Rolf, I recently started a knowledge channel on the PAG-A&E Maharashtra's website. So
Okay,
we
ma'am.
have a link wherein we've been interacting with the state government, with joint directors, DDOs and TOs. And we are
Yes.
finding that on certain basic topics, be it in pension or in accounts,
Yes,
there
ma'am.
is some confusion, So
Yeah.
we prepared these short knowledge videos. So this is for all my divisional accountant and divisional accounts officer trainees as well. There are
Yes, ma'am.
videos on UCs and pension process that we put up. So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the starting point, and we've shared it with the ACS accounts and treasuries in the state government and the director of accounts and treasuries. And
Yes,
they
ma'am.
already have circulated those videos as well in their WhatsApp groups. Now,
Okay,
this
ma'am.
training that we've organized for you all has been
Yes, ma'am.
videotaped, right? So you know you are aware of that, I'm sure. So
Yes, ma'am.
RTI has been good enough to agree to share those videos with us. So we
Yes.
will be putting them up on our knowledge channel also, so that those of your colleagues who couldn't access this training, right?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
we had a certain amount of people, 16 of you are here,
Yeah.
but there are many more. So please spread the word to them so that they can also come in and access this training. And
Yeah.
I've taken note also of the particular topics that you mentioned. Now, these topics that you mentioned, be it GST, or it
Yeah.
be the Treasury Works Manual, or it be,
Yeah.
certain areas where you require more inputs and
Yes, ma'am.
government accounts and the distinction, on the corporation side. So
Yes,
all
ma'am.
these things make it much more feasible to
Yeah.
have slightly longer training.
Yeah.
Now, the reason we kept this as a 3-day training was twofold. One was that it was the first training.
Yeah.
So obviously, we wanted to get a
Yeah.
sense of how engaged you all would be
Yeah.
and how useful it would be for you.
Yeah.
And because the training is only as good as
Yeah.
the response it receives from the trainees. You could have the best faculty in the world,
Yeah.
but if the trainees are not engaged, then
Yeah.
it's not going to work. So from
Surely.
what I'm seeing, you were an extremely engaged bunch of trainees,
Yeah.
and you all were there for the training, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. So this is March ending month, right? So this is a busy time for you in all of your divisions. So we've kept it as 3 days, but going forward, we'll add to the number of days. I'll consult with, my colleagues and take a decision on that. And what we probably will do also in some of the areas that you've spoken of, maybe organize a 1-day training, wherein you all can log in and or maybe a half-day training. And it may be with the RTI, it may be otherwise. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But as of now, we've taken your feedback on board and we treat it very seriously. Because my whole purpose to this and Ross too is to build up your capacity to let you know that you're not alone. You're
Yeah.
supported. We are there. We are there
Yeah.
to help you in capacity building and, strengthening your technical skills and also in your managerial abilities. you know, in your ability to lead, to stand on your own, to know your subject matter so well. And there's no overemphasizing the importance of integrity and dedication in the work that we expect from you. I mean, that is something that is the base of everything you do in your career. So this, I mean, you know, this is something that even the leadership and the self-awareness side of it is something that we'd like to build up in our subsequent training. So I just want to say that I'm delighted that training has been so well received. We'll plan some more trainings and at least one more for the remainder of your cohort. And we'll work on those specific topics you mentioned. Do check out the Knowledge Channel and the PAG's website so that you are, you know, able to spread the word amongst your colleagues also in the state government. And we'll take it from here. But what feedback you've given is not gone unheard. I assure you that we will work towards creating more capacity building initiatives and capacity building opportunities for all. So I wish you all the best, and I thank Rob for this opportunity. I'll hand it back to him now.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what we feel, RTI is not, RTI doesn't work in isolation, and please don't feel that you are isolated or we are not there for you. We are always there. Let's just move together. Ma'am will read little more about the feedback. Thank you so much. Whatever you have guided us, whatever instructions you have given, we'll definitely work upon that. But few things are left, so I will read that.
Please go on. Yeah.
Topics that may be elaborated, tender clauses, 3 persons have written that. More elaboration on tender clauses may be done, that's right. Various types of contracts, e-billing should be more elaborated. Contract clauses, so we take note of this as PG madam has said. We'll definitely work upon that. Specific suggestions, if any, to improve the training design execution. Here, ma'am, participants have written that long duration of the course. So depending on your feedback or what PG madam says, we'll definitely like to extend it because it is exclusively for you. So as ma'am has already said that it was planned 3 days, just being the first course and first step toward the capacity building. So madam thought it appropriate that we keep it for 3 days. But depending, as you have said, that there should be longer duration. So ma'am will let us know how we work in the next training. So depending on what PG madam thinks and what sort of duration madam wants, will definitely agree to that, ma'am. Interaction sessions may be introduced at this month. Whatever any topic regarding accounting is explained, it should be told how it works different in government and corporation accounting system. Experienced retired our DAOs are good, and more such experienced faculty can be added in the training. Ma'am, here like you have already spoken about how it works in government and corporation, and majority of them are divisional accounts officers only. That way, ma'am, participants' feedback regarding adequacy and quality of facilities, it is 4.92, 98.4%. Comments by the Training Institute. Overall, the training was received very well. The participants have desired addition, elaboration on sessions on GST, tender clauses, MPWD, manual and accounting. For adequate coverage of these topics, it is proposed to extend the duration of the training program as will subject to the approval by us. Ma'am, this way we come to the end of the training program, and final word will be yours. And I'm so happy that we could conduct this training, and the feedback really is very encouraging. And thank you so much, ma'am. And further comments from your side are most welcome.
Thank you, Raf. Once again, congratulations on attending this training to all of you, all the trainees, and for being the first cohort to sort of kick off this initiative for capacity building and supporting you that we've launched. My thanks to Rolf and his team for their dedication and the excellent coordination of this course that they've provided. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And please, nobody should feel alone. We are together. We are together toward the capacity building, and RTA Mumbai will leave no stone unturned towards imparting the appropriate training, ma'am. We are always there for you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you,
Yes,
everybody.
thank you so much, ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Rolf.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. See you some other day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.